Hey, Ben here with Studio on the Lake. It's been a while, but here's one of the carvings that I did the last couple weeks, goofing around. And this is a response to Jordy over at Carving Fusion and Just Carve Rob. Rob started it. He said, hey, why don't wood spirits have ears on them? Well, here's a perfectly good example of why they don't have ears on them. They end up looking goofy. So this guy, I called him a Swami because he looked along those lines. But anyway, here you go. I got about 6 videos that are in the process of editing. I've been highly unmotivated here lately and have been working a lot. So first thing I did was I drew in the face of this character, and this is a terrible, one of the worst pieces of basswood that I've got out in the shed. And it's not that great a one. So, as Jordy would say, when you're doing a face, the first thing to do is cut in the eyebrows. And the next thing you want to do is cut in the nose. And you can carve fairly deep on these. I do have the majority of I have all the chainsaw carving stuff in. I got an MS-193. I got a carving bar, dime tip carving bar. Unfortunately, they sent me the wrong sprocket. You'll see that I've got a video on that. A quarter pitch chain is running on that thing. And everybody is sold out of all the parts and pieces. If you were to order a bar from Still and various different things, they've got a wait list into the fall of this year. I guess the COVID, nobody's working, or everybody bought all the stuff up. But I did pick one up off of eBay, and what I ended up buying was a 7-tooth quarter pitch, and it just so happens that it doesn't work with it. I needed an 8-tooth. So fast forward a couple weeks, and I ordered an 8-tooth, and guess what? They sent me a 7-tooth. So I had to send that back, and just a couple days ago, I ordered another from another vendor, which is a quarter pitch 8-tooth, and I hope that's what works for the chain. And when you see that video, you'll see me setting it up on the saw, and I thought I was good to go. Didn't pay any attention to it. Was starting to put the chain on. I actually changed this drive sprocket out, and I was trying to adjust the chain, and it just wasn't adjusting right. So then I took it off and took a look, and 7-tooth doesn't allow that chain to go around. So this guy's just a goofy guy. There's really nothing to learn here, other than the fact you'll see that I do a lot of various different parts and pieces. You saw the DeWalt grinder in there. I have the chisels that survived. Basically, they're sharp again, and I'm using them here with that rubber hammer. That's the Ram power carver, micro carver, and that's the iCube, ICUBE. And I still kind of like it. It's got a lot of power. It doesn't get hot. It is a little bulkier in my hand, but I'm getting used to it. And you can see I'm starting to put in the eyes on this character. This guy is of absolutely no note. It's kind of fun to watch. And there is the Oz Elite carver, which was a little bit pricey, in $750 range. I like it. It's running a long saber tooth burr on that. I use saber tooth just as much as I use the Cutsalls. I know a lot of people stick with the Cutsalls, but there's some of the they're more like a rasp looking thing that saber makes that work out real well for removing a lot of wood quickly. As you can see, this guy had no plan, and when I got done, I thought the top of his head looked funky, so I kind of gave him a turban-looking deal. And it's a little bit harder to do to put those ears in, and so I had to leave the ears out. I actually had to do a little bit of thinking on this guy. Normally, a face is done in thirds, so 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And the tip of your nose is going to be in the middle 1/3, and then the eyes are in the top 1/3, and then the chin is on the bottom. And if you have the have taken an art class, drawn anatomy, or working with human anatomy, you can get the face dimensions. If you want to look up actual face dimensions and not freelance like a lot of us on these wood carving deals seem to do, they'll tell you really pretty much what the basic proportions of a face are, and that'll help you if you're a beginner carver. Typically, they don't have faces don't have cheekbones like I leave a lot of times in here. In this guy's case, you see his beard would have come up a little further on the nose, and he wouldn't have quite as much of a pronounced cheekbone like that one I'm working on right now. And his nose would be set up a little bit different. But I had to figure out where the ears came in, and you kind of stick your hand, run it across the top of your ear and see where it comes in, and you'll be surprised as I'm speaking to you and when I did these. But on mine, my ear comes out, the top of the ear is up in the forehead somewhere, not where you think it would be, and then the bottom earlobe is really just above my top lip. So the ears are not where you would think they would be typically. So I guess anatomy lessons would work. But anyway, I said I'm down in Iowa for a couple more days and then back. We had the grandkids have been over at the house for the summer. They went away for a week or two, and then they're going to come back. So I'll be fixing go-karts and pulling out bows and arrows and fishing and that sort of thing. Be preoccupied, in other words. One of the grandkids and I did go up to Lake Superior and did kind of a Jordy Johnson sort of thing where we were looking at the driftwood that came up there, and we picked up a few smaller pieces of driftwood. I've got a video of that, not that particular part of it, but doing a spirit on a smaller piece of driftwood. You can see here that I can remove a lot of wood by basically splitting this away. So this chisel I'm just using it to split, not necessarily cut. And I'm trying to get rid of all that excess wood behind this character's ear. And this wood is cooperating really well by breaking off there. It is basswood, although it's kind of a knotty, dirty piece that may or may not work for another project. I mean, if I'm going to do a bird or something, I will tend to get one of the clearer pieces out. I still don't have a bandsaw. It's still on back ordered. My dust collector is still on back ordered. It's highly annoying. I have not been able to find a builder up here in the Northwoods interested in taking my 50 grand and rebuilding the studio, and I find that amazing. And it's not the fact of them bidding on it. I had a couple people that sounded like they're interested, and then I haven't heard anything from them since then. So I guess I'm going to be, if I get a chance, and I really haven't, just like posting these videos, I'm way behind the power curve. I'm lacking in motivation, but I need to tear down what's left of the studio. I haven't actually even gone completely through it. So as I was saying, there's not much to gather from this other than I guess you're getting a little bit out of this when I'm carving the mustache hairs in there in the beard, but the ears, I'm gonna have to go with Jordy on this. The ears make these spirit guys look goofy. They really look goofy. I was trying to think of a artistic way to make this come out, and the only thing I can think of is if you're making kind of an elf version of a spirit elf, maybe, as opposed or a spirit elf man. I don't even know what to tell you. You could get away with an ear, maybe one ear sticking out, kind of like Ryan Cook does with a hand sticking out on one side. Speaking of Ryan Cook, and I might do a little video on this, and Jordy, there's a character, Uncle Kevin, who's a friend of Ryan Cook's, and he started a YouTube channel here not too long ago, and he's just short of 1,000 viewers. So I've got a link down in there, but Uncle Kevin Carves, I believe it is, and he just has a little different style. Of course, Ryan Cook doesn't need our help. Those guys are the heavy hitters. Ryan Cook and Jordy, with their 40,000 subscribers and that sort of thing. Speaking of, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. But you can see that I'm just kind of cleaning this guy up, and he came out looking goopy, looked like a swami, and that's all there is to this character. I didn't put any finish on him, and I didn't put a lot of time in there. But hey, I'm trying to put a few more videos up for you. So thanks a lot. This has been Ben with Studio on the Lake. Like, comment, and subscribe.